Oh, man. Little did I know how many Eagles fans are passionate about Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley. All I did yesterday is make one simple comment on Twitter. DeAndre Swift is greater than Saquon Barkley. Holy crap, did all hell break loose. We're going to talk about that. We got lots on the agenda, some fun, some serious. Phillies 15 minutes on Fridays with Kylie starts at 9 a.m. Got lots happening, guys. We are live with your thoughts and opinions in 30 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM, right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. We are live. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. You know the drill. Depending on which platform you're watching on, hit those like, retweet, share buttons, follow button, subscribe buttons. You know the drill. Do it. Hit whatever you can to get interactive with the show. The number one morning show in Philadelphia, the only sports show in Philadelphia where your opinions actually matter. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel, every single morning here. And you can find me on all social media platforms at Bearded Knowledge. If I'm on it, that's where you can find me. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. We got lots to talk about today. Lots that I've got to discuss. Lots that I feel can bring some fun conversations to the table. Make sure you stay tuned. 9 a.m. Kylie, Bell Smashers Pod, Philadelphia Sports Network. Fridays, Phillies Fridays with Kylie will be here at 9 a.m. So stay tuned for that. We got a little Phillies conversation to get done there. I'm going to bring up a lot of different fun topics this Friday morning. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Fun little tweet I did last night about my top 5 Philadelphia athletes that I'd love to see at WrestleMania. Tiki Barber getting in my mention. Not my mentions, but on my timeline. Lots going on. Brandon Graham will be back, just working out the details still. But let's start with the tweet that I made yesterday. It's sort of, kind of, it didn't break the internet, but it sure broke my notification tab. It sure overloaded me with a lot of comments. One comment that I made yesterday after the show has now resulted in me being told I'm on meth, I'm on coke, I'm on heroin. One comment I told me I can't read, I'm an idiot, I'm this and that, and it just goes on and on and on. I made one simple comment. DeAndre Swift is greater than Saquon Barkley. That's it. And holy shit, did it break the world. Good morning, SUV. How you doing? If he's not the answer, then what is the guy? Does everything run, block, catch, and what else do you want? I need some convincing that he's not. Because if not him, then what are you looking for? All right, so right off the bat, someone wants to ask me about why I think DeAndre Swift is greater than Saquon Barkley. It is so much more when I make a statement that somebody is greater than the other than just the statistics or just a skill set. Saquon Barkley is 2 to 3 years older than DeAndre Swift. Saquon Barkley, while DeAndre Swift has had an injury history, it's a little deeper for Saquon Barkley, and DeAndre Swift stayed healthy last year. DeAndre Swift knows this team. He's been indoctrinated into this team. So you're not bringing in a new thing. DeAndre Swift's going to be cheaper than Saquon Barkley. And I honestly, outside of pass blocking, which was what the problem was, why Kenny Gainwell had to be split back last year with him, all of that, no. We survived. If it's simply because Saquon blocks better, you're not going to do that. DeAndre Swift, the entire package, the running, the catching the ball in the backfield, maybe more this year under Kellen Moore. The fact that he's been part of this team, he's younger, he's cheaper. The whole package makes DeAndre Swift the better option for the Philadelphia Eagles in 2024. I'm not spending big money on Saquon Barkley. Now, if Saquon Barkley wants to come here on a 1-year, $3 million deal, sure, I would take him over DeAndre Swift. But you better have better backup options than Boston Scott and Rashad Penny for the 3 to 4 games that Saquon Barkley's going to miss. Saquon Barkley averaged less than 4 yards a carry last year. Less than 4 yards a carry. And I hear all this talk about Saquon and the Giants' trash offensive line and, all that kind of stuff. But who's to say that the Eagles' offensive line is going to be elite next year? We just lost the anchor in Jason Kelce. Assuming the Eagles' offensive line is going to be elite, going from Kelce to Juergens at center and Tyler Steen, a second-year player at right guard, put a lot of pressure on that offensive line. A lot of assumptions. We don't know what Kellen Moore is going to want to do offensively, game plan-wise. How do we know Saquon Barkley's the right option? Just like when I said I don't want Derrick Henry here because I don't think Jalen Hurts should be playing under center regularly. Isn't that what kind of have to do with Saquon Barkley too? Maybe Saquon Barkley's a little bit more adept to the RPO and the shotgun formation than Derrick Henry. DeAndre Swift, we know, can do it. There's a lot to it. What's up, TMC? Time for UFL. You changed your name again. Why? I think Saquon Barkley is a very talented running back, but I think he's a little overrated. To use your word, what do you call it? He's a fraud. That's what you call him. Kenny G is the answer. To you, he is the answer. To everybody else in the NFL, he is not the answer. You maybe want to clarify if you watched Swift tour it up last year. Exactly. Swift played great when used. He was just underutilized last year. He's got so many miles, Saquon Barkley. On top of everything I've said, the wear and tear that he's had when healthy. He played 14 games last year, and he had almost 300 carries. That is a lot of wear and tear. He's 27. He's just as injury prone. I think his body's just as beat up. Swift stayed healthy last year, though. He was injury prone. Then last year, they managed him properly, which then there makes the argument, well, maybe the Eagles would manage, Saquon better here, which would then, in turn, keep him healthy here. There's an argument to be had there for that. Sure, I get it. I understand that. I do. Doesn't mean that it will happen. He's a big reason to doing that because people won't know what you're doing when you switch running back. I'm not sure I understand that comment. Sorry, SUV. I'm not sure what you're getting at there with that one. Barkley is how old? Barkley is 27, which in running back terms is borderline nursing home. He's never healthy. He's got bulky knees. He's not as explosive. Everyone's like, he's so explosive. Yeah, he was super explosive 2 years ago. He has been beat up behind an awful Giants offensive line. They've been stacking the box against the Giants for years because he was their only weapon, meaning a lot of hits, a lot of worn down bodies. I would much rather a younger, fresher, and already familiar with the town and cheaper and everything else that I just said, DeAndre Swift over Saquon Barkley. First and foremost, the amount of people that call me psycho. Can't people have opinions anymore? And there were 4 or 5 or 6 of the couple hundred comments that I got on this post that were, let's discuss this. And I had discussions on why. And I indulged them and gave them these exact reasons. Jason Ashworth, for one. But the people that just say I must be on crack or coke, man, I am on crack, cocaine, heroin, and meth. I did not know we were that rich in my family to afford all 4 hardcore drugs. I'm really surprised. I don't know how to read. I said, You can't change. You can't convince me otherwise." People tell me my book is wrong or I haven't read it properly or whatnot. Thumbs is up, or you're a Giants fan. That's right. Like this video if you think I'm wrong and Saquon Barkley's the answer. That might get some people to like this video. Good morning, Eric. How you doing? Um, bring Swift back. Add Henry too. If they could split 12 million, there is Eric, zero. Repeat, zero chance that the Eagles spend $12 million on 2 running backs. Zero chance. They spent less than 6 on 4 last year, and we're 10-1 at one point. There is zero chance that they spend $12 million on 2 running backs. Barkley is the car that you keep having to bring into the shop. Maybe it's time to turn in Old Faithful car for a new one. I love it. For sure. It's that car. It's like my original Jeep, my Jeep Cherokee. My Grand Cherokee Laredo that I had back in the day. Every 6 months, I was dropping $2,000 into it to keep it running. Finally, I said, enough's enough. Yeah, when it's running, it runs great, but it don't run often. What is up? Yeah, Yoko. I love how TMC changes his name constantly. Eric, please straighten out our boy. Nobody straightened me out. These glasses are straightening my eyes out, supposedly, but that's about it. It's sports talk, so we can debate. Twitter X, not everyone agree with one opinion. Oh, man, like, literally, I'm looking at this tweet now because I did this yesterday, and I'm still getting notifications on the regular on this here. We are up to 126,000 views, 221 comments, 245 quote tweets, 1,200 plus likes. I mean, the notification bar has just blown up. And I would say 97% of the people that interacted with this tweet told me I was psycho and nuts. And quite frankly, it's hilarious. And I love it. I'm all over it. I don't say hot take things just to say it. I think I'm out a little bit at first. So when I said DeAndre Swift is greater than Saquon Barkley, it wasn't just something I just randomly said, let's break the internet today, say something stupid. I thought it out. I think Saquon Barkley is a good running back when healthy. He had the potential to be one of the greatest running backs of all time. No doubt about it. No, it's not monetized. I refuse to pay for Twitter so that I can monetize it. I don't want to pay for the blue check mark to monetize it. And that's not even my biggest tweet I've ever had blow up, but it's the most recent one. And it's the one that I've gotten the most crap for ever. So, we'll just leave it at that. Exactly, Travis. 2 years ago, sure. But 27-year-old who runs like he's a 33-year-old. Actually, Travis, you might be able to outrun Saquon Barkley by week 12. Not week 1, but by week 12, Travis, you could outrun Saquon Barkley. Well, maybe not you, Travis. But you get what I'm getting at here. Saquon Barkley is a really good running back. But DeAndre Swift is the perfect fit for this Eagles team. And that's why I said it. Because you can't just build your team. And this is the thing that bothers me with free agency. Right now, if Eagles Nation had their way, the Eagles would spend $490 million on salaries. Every guy that's cut or available. Every big name 30-year-old. We keep talking we want to get younger. But every 30-year-old cut safety, 32-year-old cut cornerback, got to go get them. Got to go get all these 30-year-olds. Well, a 27-year-old running back is like a 32-year-old safety. Just saying. We're not going to go out there and just get every random big name just because their name is famous, because you know their name from fantasy football. That is not how you build a winning team. This team, with Jalen Hurts at the helm, the better option for the Eagles is DeAndre Swift without a shadow of a doubt, K1, for you. And yet, just 6 likes here. I know. People don't like when Phil has a differing opinion than the masses. Swift is that used Toyota from Carfax with 25K miles, 2023. I'll take it. Yeah, the Carfax report was accurate. You know, it's that Carfax commercial where they think they're buying the right car and it turns out it's a lemon. That's Saquon Barkley. It's not 2019 anymore. It's not 2020. It's 2024. I do not want the Eagles investing big. And, you know, this is not saying Saquon Barkley would not have a good year here. Saquon Barkley is a good running back, really good running back, when healthy. I think Saquon Barkley behind our offensive line, if it's good, which is an often not discussed topic this offseason, if the offensive line is good, could do well here. But also in week 12, we could be like, why is our running back averaging 2.7 yards a carry? And DeAndre Swift could go elsewhere and have a crazy good year. You know what you got in DeAndre Swift. You don't know what you're getting in Saquon Barkley. Yeah, it seems like I'm a troll. I get this. People are just looking at the grand scope of two words and a little greater symbol. That's all they're looking at. They're not thinking it out. Why did I say this? People just love to troll back. And it's also because there are so many trolls out there that they don't know when someone's being serious or not. I would have much Lions Montgomery running back makes. He looked amazing. He did. He did. Much more important to build up on the offensive line. Everyone just assumes the Eagles' offensive line is going to be great. You just lost a Hall of Fame center that has started how many games in a row? And we're instantly just going to slide Cam Jurgens over, start second year Tyler Steen. We're still going to be the best offensive line in football. We might be. We've got a great offensive line coach in Jeff Stoutland. It doesn't mean it's going to work out. I don't know if you're serious or not here, K1. Antonio Gibson is just 26. Let's stockpile them Memphis running backs. I love Antonio Gibson. He got the short end of the stick in Washington there. Before they drafted Brian Robinson, who was a great story and a great running back as well. And before they brought Robinson in, they were talking about turning Antonio Gibson into the next Christian McCaffrey because he can run, he can catch the ball in the backfield, he can do it all. I would absolutely love a backfield of Kenny Gainwell, Gibson, and Swift next year. And keep Boston Scott for the Giants game. Be a fantastic grouping in our backfield. Why not? What is up, Nitro? How you doing? I checked with the Bird Gang. We are all in agreement. Swift needs to be signed. Hey, we've disagreed a few times, Nitro. You got to go find my Twitter comment, okay? Got to go find my Twitter comment from yesterday that's blown up on this. Give me some support because I'm getting bashed for this. Crushed for this. I'm glad finally Nitro and I are back on the same page. Tony Pollard's another. Isn't he an injury-prone running back as well? Why does everybody want injury-prone guys? I need guys that are going to stay healthy on my team. Not injured guys. Now, the Tony Pollard link, the only thing that's intriguing there is that Kellen Moore's our offensive coordinator. Tony Pollard a few years ago had his best years under Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore, Tony Pollard, connection, great success together. It makes sense. But, you're not paying a running back. Tony Pollard could. You got Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry. Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, and Tony Pollard. 4 big-name running backs out there. All going to get big money. Tony Pollard might be the second highest paid of the 4. The Eagles aren't going to do that. Barkley might be irresponsible for Howie if he overpays. It's like me buying an exciting Lamborghini that I know the engine is breaking down. Exactly. All Memphis backfield, let's go. Is that what you want? I wish you re-sign Swift and give him the rock. I got to assume that they would probably, Kellen Moore would hopefully use DeAndre Swift a little bit more. You would hope, you would think. Kylie, I might just cancel Phillies Fridays with Kylie if this is what you're going to do. I control the narrative on my show. And you're welcome to have your opinion. I'm just telling you, I disagree. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, but I'm going to tell you I strongly disagree. Good morning, Adam. What is up? Greetings and salutations, my man. In my opinion, running backs are all about timing. Howie good with the running back windows. He jettisoned Sanders just in time. TMC with like smart comments today. Smart comment from him here. The timing is not right to go out and get Saquon Barkley. That was timing years ago, not now. I'm tired of injury-prone budget buys. We tend to invest into them more than my liking. I don't want injury-prone guys. I want guys that are going to pay on the field. Kylie thinks I'm joking. I'm going to put her on the screen. I'm going to delete her right from the screen instantly. Even Kylie don't want to talk Philly. Yeah, she's purposely trying to get herself canceled from the show today. Exactly. The only thing I will say, and I don't know if anybody caught it, that would support Saquon Barkley and discount what I say about not bringing him here is there's a video. I guess Tiki Barber has his own radio show and it's syndicated, so there's video of it and stuff like that. Tiki Barber made a huge plea for Saquon Barkley not to come to Philadelphia. And now I kind of want Saquon Barkley in Philly just to piss Tiki Barber off. And his reason is because he just doesn't want his New York Giant legend playing for the division rival Eagles. Don't you dare. We'll hate you for it. You'll be disrespecting the Giants. Go anywhere. He's like, I'd rather you go win a Super Bowl in Texas for the Texans than go to Philly. And honestly, he's right. It's why I was pissed off that Zach Ertz went to the Commanders and no one else seemed to care. I cared because it kills me. Adam, muchas gracias, my man. Thank you very much today. Great way to start the day off, guys. Adam coming in on fire here today. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Let me just note that down in my book here. Thank you very much. Saquon or Tobias Harris? I'm taking Saquon Barkley over Tobias Harris. 100%. 100%. Get Tobias Harris. Do the Sixers play tonight or is it tomorrow night? Let me see their schedule here. Got up on the side screen. They play the Pelicans on the 8th. Today is the 8th. So they're going to lose tonight. Oh, great. Fantastic. Barkley is, I can't see that emoji, not play for a player that will only play 4 games. Well, he played 13 games last year, I think. Something like that. But still, I don't want him. Don't want him. Spot Track has Swift going. Yeah, I don't know how they determine their expected salaries like that. And I don't know how accurate they are. I have a hard time figuring out that Howie would pay $6 million for any one running back, whether it's Swift or anybody. He's more likely to go out and get an Antonio Gibson off the scrap heap to pair with Kenny Gainwell, draft a running back. That's what it is. That's just Howie's got $50 million to spend. Other teams got more than that. But he needs a safety. He needs a cornerback. He needs a linebacker. The edge rush. There are so many holes on this team. He's not. Somebody said earlier, $12 million between Swift and Saquon. Get them both. Howie's not going to commit $12 million of his cap to 2 running backs. Let Barber. Nobody cares. Look, I just love it. I just love the fact that we and him are on the same page with I didn't want to see Ertz going to the Commanders, our division rival, team that we hate. That means and that's why he doesn't want Saquon going to the Eagles. I love it. I love it. That is a I could sometimes emojis pop up funny in the comments and they don't look like emojis sometimes. I'll take Saquon to play for the Sixers. I bet you Saquon can give you 15 minutes better than Tobias Harris. Although if Saquon is playing for the Sixers, that would give Nick Nurse another reason not to play Ricky Council. So I don't know. Maybe I don't want Saquon on the Sixers because I'd be taking Ricky Council's minutes. Dang, go ahead. Yeah, muchas gracias. Adam's the superhero of this show. Always. He's always my number one supporter. Phil needs a new optometrist. He can't see our emojis. I'm trying. I made it through the whole show without taking them off yesterday. I'm 25 minutes in today without taking them off. All right, so let's just leave it at that. The Tobias Harris emoji, trash emoji, same thing, right? Pretty much. I want to see you draft an O-line edge, right? So you want us to draft the whole team, basically. I mean, there's only 7 rounds in the NFL draft. But yeah, they're not going to spend big. Remember what I said, Ray Diddy yesterday. I talked about his comment saying we need a right guard, 1 to 2 cornerbacks, a linebacker for sure, maybe a safety or 2. There's a lot of needs for a playoff team, for a team that has Super Bowl aspirations. Howie does not value, we always say he doesn't value linebacker. Well, he definitely does not value running back. He is going to get the next Rashad Penny in here. Maybe it's Antonio Gibson. That's fine. That was just the name popped up. He is going to draft the 6th or 7th round running back. That is what, and then you're going to have Boston Scott and you're going to have Kenny Gainwell. That is going to be the plan. He's going to spend big on Justin Simmons maybe or Patrick Queen or whatever. He's not going to spend big on these big ticket running backs. Do we need a special Adam emoji? I'm going to get a pop-up. I'm going to build an overlay. So whenever Adam hooks us up, I can pop the overlay up over me here. Safety and defensive tackle you need, but are all over free agency. Free agency is so deep this year. I think it deserves something. I'll work on that over the next couple days. I will. Something special for the $10 super chats. Without Embiid and Maxey, this is Tobias' time to shine, but he is disappearing. Adam, bringing in the Sixers talk. I got to warn you, Adam. You bring Sixers talk into the conversation, you're going to get attacked. I tried talking Sixers yesterday, and everyone kept trying to change the subject because nobody wanted to talk the dreadful Sixers. K1's going to bring up Adam that the Flyers beat a great hockey team last night, and we should be talking that instead of the Sixers. But the Sixers are in process mode, or the Flyers are in process mode, so I can't get excited about the Flyers, win or lose. I don't know. The Sixers are going to lose tonight to the Charlotte Hornets. I got crushed. I made a joke before the Grizzly game, and the Sixers were going to lose by 40. And everyone's like, "You're crazy." I'm like, of course they're not going to lose by 40 to the Memphis Grizzlies. But the point was that I had no faith in the team beating a G League Grizzlies team. And guess what? They didn't beat a Grizzlies G League team. You know why? Because the Sixers are rolling out a G League team too. Anything that gets me ranting. It's great content. You should have seen me ranting on Twitter. You got to go find that thread. I tried to respond to some of the asinine comments. I did. Is Maxey confirmed out tonight? I haven't even looked. Honestly, at this point, he is listed as out. Okay. So we're basically running that practice squad lineup out there again tonight against the Memphis Grizzlies. All right, it's going to be the same lineup we put up against the Grizzlies. We're almost 9-point dogs tonight. Sixers are getting smoked tonight, guys. Smoked. Song, impression, piano, something for 10 for Phil. I don't know. The Hornets, they can't be that bad. The Hornets are not bad. I'm going to add another thing. We can keep talking about Reddick. I'm looking at my notes here from this week. We can keep talking Swift and Barkley. Cookie Man will strike again. Cookie Man will come out every randomly so often and drop a 25 burger just to remind us that he has talent. And then he'll go out the next night and drop a 2-burger. Oh, an 8-burger. Um, I'm going to drop one other thing here. How is the dill pizza selling? People love the dill pizza, dill pickle pizza. The one I posted the picture of was with bacon on it as well. Just so you know. I'm trying to do something like here, and if I'm trying to bring up a specific page on this, but I can't figure out how to switch this. Contracts, NFL teams, spending. I'm trying to find contracts, active contracts. No, but this will bring this up. That's not what I want. Free agents. That's what I'm looking at on Spot Track here. I want to pull up all the running backs here. All right. No, not that. All types. No. Positions. Running back. Update. I want to see all the running backs that are available. All right. Obviously, we got the famous names. Forgot to throw Eckler in there. Cordell Patterson. There's a cheap option. Naeem Hines. Cheap option. Gus Edwards off injured. Cheap option. Devin Singletary. Cheap option. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Actually, I really like that cheap option. Dante Foreman. Cheap option. Cam Akers, cheap option. A lot of these are injury-prone cheap options, but cheap options nonetheless. A.J. Dillon, Jerick McKinnon, Latavius Murray. He's old as hell. Antonio Gibson, we've talked about him. Zach Moss, love that idea. Cheap option. Marlon Mack, cheap option. There are a lot of cheap options in the running back market that Howie Roseman will be all over. All right? He is not giving Saquon Barkley the money. And I'm saying I don't want him to give him the money. It would be one of the you know what today is? Today's the anniversary. We should remember today is not the day to be being wasteful with money on a Saquon Barkley. Because today is the day, it's the 9-year anniversary of one of Howie Roseman's biggest blunders. And that was the huge contract to Byron Maxwell, who was a complete and total bust. So use today to remember. Today was also the day that they signed Frank Gore 9 years ago. And Frank Gore was an Eagle for less than 1 minute. He never even put pen to paper. People are saying draft Frank Gore Jr. Like, just think about that. Today's the Byron Maxwell anniversary. So maybe, just maybe, we should not be signing Saquon Barkley. You had to be a big shot, didn't you? You had to open up your mouth. That's what I do. What is dill pizza? It's a pickle pizza. You put a little garlic butter sauce down, a little pizza cheese, a little Parmesan, layer of pickles, with or without bacon, a little dill weed on top, a little bit more cheese on top. Perfection on a pizza. So can you share screen Spot Track? Yeah, I'm not today. Not today. But it's just Spot Track. Just type it into Google. You can find it. It feels likely that Justin Simmons will be an Eagle on a 2-year contract. That's fine. I don't want 3 years. I don't want 5 years on Justin Simmons. What's Simmons, 31 years old? We keep talking about this team needs to get younger, but everybody wants to bring in here is 30 years plus. Or on the back end of their career. If I'm Howie, I'm going to Xavier McKinney from the Giants, 25 years old. I'd give him a 6-year. I would make him one of the 2 or 3 highest paid free agents this offseason. Go get a young stud safety. Let him anchor the back end of your defense for the next 5 to 6 years, just like, what's his name did, Malcolm Jenkins, after we lost Brian Dawkins. Or then, all the different guys that we've brought in here at safety. That's what I want. And Justin Simmons is great safety. But he's older. Foreman is Phil, is fire. I post it every day. LeGarrette Blount, I think, is officially retired now, Marshall. So we're out on that. You want better than Naeem Hines or Moss? Zach Moss would be a great 3rd, 4th option at running back. He shows he can come in and carry the tote if your main guy goes down. And he has no problem being the number 2 or 3 guy when your main guy is going. Monday. Legal tampering starts Monday. Everything's official on Wednesday. Marshawn. But we're going to hear all the rumors all weekend long. The Chip Kelly era. You're trying to make me throw up here. Byron Maxwell was a Chip Kelly sign. Oh, was that the year? So are you saying, Adam and Marshawn, that was the year Chip was making the decisions? Yeah, that's right. It was because 16 when Doug Peterson came to town. I thought I'm 1 year off there on that. So yeah, maybe it was a Chip Kelly signing. Howie was in the broom closet sweeping the floors. My bad. Same offseason, he traded Shady for Kiko. One of the best trades in Eagles history. Chip Kelly, the decision maker, was one of the worst things ever. My bad. The gas leak season, yeah. K1, no one besmirching of the greatest GM in Eagles history. Well, I mean, didn't he have something to do with? No. I'm off on my years right now. Pickle pizza is amazing. It really is. And Fox's Pizza in Kennett Square, we do it the right way. We make it damn good. Dante Foreman in Philly, sure. Sounds awesome. Okay. I was just reading off names. I didn't know we had a Dante Foreman stand in the comment section. Howie was banished to the janitor's closet that year. Yeah, that's I kind of missed up the years there. So it was a Howie Roseman move. But we should still learn our lesson. That every big name guy does not necessarily make a good fit for your team or organization. That's all I'm saying. Saquon is not a good fit. Saquon is not a smart play, in my opinion. But let's not let facts get in the way of a good narrative. Hey, you know what? I could spin a narrative too. Malcolm was old when he signed here, right? Might have been 30. Was he that old? He was a little younger than that. Zach Moss, great second option, true. Leonard Fournette, third. Is Leonard Fournette a free agent? Sure. If they bring in another running back, who you think they will get rid of? Well, they only have one running back, Adam, on the roster right now. Kenny Gainwell is the only running back under contract right now. So they need to bring in at a minimum 3 running backs. They did sign some dude to a futures contract. Don't even remember his name. Don't need to remember his name. He's the next Trey Sermon that I'm going to get really excited about in July and August, and it's not going to make the team. They've only got Kenny Gainwell under contract. So they got to bring in 3 guys right now. Definitely stopped by Fox's. Absolutely. Thank you. Adam always. Adam supports me here. Adam supports my pizza shop. The core 12 is going to just be changed to the core Adam. Just so you know. Because he's the real supporter of this show. He's the real winner today. Chip Kelly was exciting. You put all your chips on red, didn't you? And black came out. No, I post Deontay Foreman in Philly a lot in here because I ignore your comments like you said. You know, I've never seen. This is the first time you've ever watched this show. Time for UFL football. Never seen you in the comments before. There will be plenty of running backs cut after the draft. That as well. And they're going to draft one probably. Kenny Gainwell is coming up on the end of it. Is this Kenny Gainwell's 3rd year, K1? He got this year and next year. I'm trying to remember how many years of Kenny Gainwell I've had to suffer through so far. So they got to get the next guy that's going to replace Kenny Gainwell when they let him walk. Adam is carrying most of the water for 12. Adam carries everybody. And you know what? I'm not the only one. Adam supports all the great content creators and YouTube shows out there and Facebook shows. He's always helping everybody out, and I love that. This is Kenny G's walk year. Okay. Wasn't sure if it was this year or next year. They're not going to extend him. So that makes it even more likely that they don't go in the 6th round to draft a running back, that they're going to draft one in the 3rd round or something like that, or 4th round. That's just Howie's MO. Howie has evolved as a GM a lot since the Chip Kelly era ended. And mostly for the better. But the one thing he hasn't evolved in is running back. If anything, he's devolved. And he cares less about running backs on a yearly basis. So he's not giving money to any running back. Our offense coordinator better backhand Nick the moment he says bench Swift and run Kenny. Yeah. I don't think Nicky Six Packs is going to have any say whatsoever on the offense this year. Cover your eyes. March 30th is kickoff chat. And I'm going to have to get spammed with comments about every game that I'm not going to watch. I'm done with Boston Scott. Big Al. I mean, it's a good joke to make. Got to keep him for the 2 Giants games a year. But realistically speaking, all he does is return kicks. He does that mediocre at best. I mean, we don't even return that many kicks in the NFL anymore anyway. There's no point to having Boston Scott. Other than the fact that he, like Greg Ward, who is still around every year, they're veterans in the locker room. They're respected voices. They're not talented, but they're good, like, player/coach guys that help out in ancillary ways, not on the field. Maybe it's the only thing I could think of as a reason why they keep guys like Boston Scott and Greg Ward around. But they tried to let Boston Scott go last year, and they re-signed him late in free agency to a pennies contract, league minimum type contract, because nobody wanted him. And the Eagles were like, all right, sure, you want to be our 4th guy? Here's the minimum. He was not good against the Giants. I don't think he scored this past year against the Giants. Nobody gives money to the running backs. I know. But there's still some money given out to running backs. There are still $8 and $10 million contracts a year given to running backs. Not many. But there are still some. And we're taking CMC out of the equation because he's a different breed. Almost, or at least we don't have to worry about a quarterback in Philly like other teams have to every year. Thank you. Giving a little Jalen Hurts support right there. I love it. I love it. Got to give Jalen Hurts his flowers. That's how we got Swift in the first place. Yeah, cheaply. How you think Ertz will do in Washington? He's dead to me, Zach Ertz. He is no longer allowed to go in the Eagles Wall of Fame. His number can be had by anybody. He's in Washington now. He's the enemy. Whatever. I can care less about Ertz in Washington. He barely played this year. He's washed. Tobias Harris or Hassan White's the old center. Literally, I would take some guy at the Kennett Square YMCA gym on the court over Tobias Harris at this point. So that answers that. Miles Sanders got a lot of money that he didn't deserve. Exactly. Chubba Hubba Hubba took over because he was so bad. Yeah, he probably got like $1 million a yard last year, right? All right, I'm going to throw one other thing. Got about 15 minutes till Kylie joins us for Phillies Phridays with Kylie. I honestly have no idea what we're talking about. I got one idea to start with, but that's about it. Don't know where we'll go. So I'm going to bring in a little extra conversation to the thing. Actually, 2 things I can bring into the conversation here. So 1, WrestleMania is in Philly, obviously. I saw a picture that I guess Triple H sent some championship belts to Clearwater for the Phillies. Bryce Harper holding the championship belt. And I want to know which Philadelphia sports athletes currently would make the best. I'm still getting notifications on this thread. Would make the best WWE champions, or who you want to see compete in a WWE ring. And I named my top 5. Lane Johnson, number 1, no doubt about it, for the simple reason that he's already said he wants to be a wrestler, and he's just jacked. Number 2, Jordan Mailata, recreate the Twin Towers with Lane Johnson, tag team champions written all over it. Number 3, Nick Castellanos. He's just got cocky heel written all over him. Kyle Schwarber, just because I've already come up with the title of his finishing move, the Schwarb Bomb. Could be like a variation of the Batista bomb. And then number 5, Joel Embiid. Problem is he would just be Adam Cole, baby. Made of glass. So Johnson, Mailata, Castellano, Schwarber, Embiid, they're my top 5 guys that I would want to see in a WWE ring, not an AEW ring. All right, let me get caught up here on the comments. Howie dies if that's talking about Miles Sanders. Phil throwing a few more things in the pot. Yes. Woody Harrelson and White Men Can't Jump is greater than Cookie Man. Of course. I don't know. Triple H has got a bad ticker. I don't know if he can make it up and down the court on a regular basis. What about St. Pete? Should out Spring Break Clearwater Gang. Shout out Spring Break Clearwater Gang. Clearwater Gang's the best. Tobias Harris versus the city of Philadelphia. Yeah, just pick any 5 random fans to go into the ring with Tobias Harris at Mania. Lane Johnson. Jason Kelce is not a Philadelphia athlete anymore. So you cannot put Jason Kelce in there, Adam. I said which current Philadelphia athletes. He is not a current athlete. So wrong. Done. I don't know about Harper. I think Harper would be a better manager. AJ Brown. He would be a diva. He would be a cocky heel. He'd be AJ Brown, if you pay attention to AEW, would be kind of like what the Jacksons are doing, the EVPs. I could see him acting like that. For sure. There's a lot of great names. But I just think Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata, 2 behemoths in the ring, would be fantastic. So that's one thing I want to add to the equation. The other thing is, if anybody has seen the note that on July 20th, live on Netflix getting into live sports, live, Iron Mike Tyson steps into the squared circle against one Jake Paul. And let me tell you something. Young Phil, that was a big boxing fan, is so excited to see Mike Tyson, even at almost 60 years old, throw some punches. Is anybody else excited like I am about that? And we will be watching that. Maybe I'll even do a watch-along party on that one. Maybe. Jalen Carter would I didn't even think of Jalen Carter in a or Jordan Davis in a WWE ring. Man, I didn't even think of those 2 guys. Not at all. That's an interesting one. I think Jalen Carter, he's a freak athlete. Freak athlete. He would make it. Yeah, and you know what? Every time Tyson steps in the ring, I don't care. It's still Mike Tyson. I remember my dad getting the Buster Douglas pay-per-view and being so pissed off. Okay? Boxing used to be such a great sport. And it's gone a long way. And Mike Tyson, he had his issues in life, we'll just say, to summarize. But you still you watch the training videos of him, the dude has still got the fastest hands alive. And I give Jake Paul and Logan Paul so much credit. They're a-holes. I get it. They're social media stars. I get it. But all they could do, they could have stayed social media stars. But they chose to dip into wrestling and boxing and MMA. And they go all in. They do the work. And they're good at what they do. Not just marketing and social media. But whatever they put their name attached to, they do it well. Devontae Smith, would he be the next Rey Mysterio? Would he be? I don't know. I could see Devontae wearing what was it? What was the guy with the black and white horn? Psychosis. I can see Devontae Smith wearing. We all have the Batman masks. He can wear the Psychosis mask. I think it was Psychosis. Had all the things, the horns pointing out. It was black and white outfit. Tyson is a minus 300 underdog. Well, minus 300 would be the favorite. Unless Jake Paul was minus like 700 or something like that. Minus 300 would make Tyson the favorite, most likely in that match. I would not bet that match. I would not bet any match with Jake Paul in it because there would always be that little bit of doubt that it's fixed, for sure. So, yeah. Plus 300. Okay. Gotcha. I'm still not taking it. If you're gonna say that, Big Al, I'm gonna test you. Who would be Norman Smiley and do the Big Wiggly? The two best jobber guys from old school WCW Nitro, the Disco Inferno, who used the stunner as his finishing move, or Norman Smiley, who had the Big Wiggly, or whatever it was called. Give me that one. Who's Norman Smiley in the Philadelphia sports scene? You'll throw me a few bucks if I do the fight. I'm not fighting Mike Tyson. Are you insane? I like living. Not excited to see Tyson mortgage his legacy versus an influencer. I am. It's probably like 3 or 5 rounds. No one takes it seriously. Just to see him get in there and mix it up. I love it. It excites me. Boxing doesn't have those kind of personalities like Tyson and Holyfield and stuff like that anymore. What do we got here? I got a lot of comments to catch up on. It's bad enough LeBron has been played 32 seasons and has 4 rings, and they still compare him to Jordan. The guys hasn't even passed Kobe and Duncan. We're making this about LeBron. Brandon Graham is coming back. Unless there's breaking news, it's still being worked on, Teresa. But yes, Brandon Graham will be back in Philly for his swan song. He's going to go out. You know how rare it is in the NFL that a defensive end stays an entire career, as long as Brandon Graham has been in one city? It's unheard of. And I love it. And I love that he and Howie Roseman are working together to come up with the number that makes it work for both of them. I would hate to see BG go somewhere else. It's a great job on Howie's part, whatever they get done to get it done. Yeah, what degenerate would put, well, Adam's a degenerate. I'm sure I'm going to get a DM from Adam with a picture of his bet. But no, I am not putting money on that. No way. Does Mike need money? No, I think Mike needs something to do. Something to keep him motivated and focused. For sure. The big wiggle. Tobias Harris is Tobias Harris. Is he Norman Smiley, or is Tobias Harris the Brooklyn Brawler? I'm not sure. Yeah, we watched a lot of boxing growing up in our house. Boxing was big before the UFC took over and dominated. See, we can talk everything on this show. We can talk Saquon Barkley is not as good as DeAndre Swift. We can talk Crumble Cookie. We talk boxing from time to time. We put it all on the table on Training the AM. Everybody agreeing, yeah, Norman Smiley is Tobias Harris. That's wow. I can't see Tobias Harris doing the big wiggle, though. That's all. That's the only thing. I don't want to imagine that one. We're on the same page. Fletcher Cox does not sound like he's coming back at him. Where Brandon Graham is coming back, and it's been reported that he and Howie are working on it. It definitely seems like it's leaning like Fletcher Cox is retiring as well. It's not going to be as big of a deal as when Jason Kelce retired, but it is still a pretty big deal because he's been here for so long. He's a borderline Hall of Fame player, and I'm saying borderline. I don't know if he is or not. I doubt he does, but it's still a big deal. And if Kelce didn't retire and make a big deal about it, then I think Cox would have already given us his answer. But I think Fletcher Cox wants to give Kelce time for his retirement to pass, his time in the limelight. Then he can announce it so he doesn't steal any of Kelce's thunder. Brandon Graham did get a lot of bus talk, and Earl Thomas is better talk for years. And mad props to Brandon Graham for surviving all that. Man, props, 100%. Fletcher Cox is not even just not coming back. He's retiring. At first, it seemed like he was going to go elsewhere. But now the talk is definitely that he's most likely retiring. Jake's only loss came against Tyson Fury's brother, who I think is a pro boxer. Yes. And that was even debatable. There are people saying that Jake Paul actually won that fight. I think is that the fight that went to a decision? A split decision or something? I mean, I don't pay for pay-per-views. I will watch the Tyson thing, and I'm excited for it live because I have Netflix, and I'll get to watch it on Netflix. That's all I care about. I mentioned the Flyers earlier in the show. I warned Adam to talk Flyers after they beat one of, if not the best team in hockey last night, to talk that instead of the Sixers. Nobody wants to talk Flyers. I put the Flyers on the table and nobody wants it. Just telling you, man. Nobody cares. What was Disco's? I don't know what it was called. It was a Stone Cold Stunner, disco style. He would do his little thing, kick you in the stomach, drop you with the stunner. Was there a Maestro or a Glacier guy? There was a lot of characters back in the day. He does the big wiggle every time he botches a layup. Is that what he does? He gets a simple layup blocked, and he does the little, I forget how he did it. Something like that. I don't know. Flyers talk is greater than Sixers and Cookie Man talk. I put it on the table. Nobody wants to talk it. I'm just saying. Who was the cat? Ernest Miller, the cat. Somebody better call my mama. Absolutely, Ernest the cat was great. All right, let me fire through these last couple comments. Best team in the NHL, yes. Adam, I want to see McGregor and Mayweather. All right, we're gonna pass over the last couple comments. Join me on the I Have No Sponsor hotline every Friday at 9 a.m. The great Kylie from Bell Smashers Pod and Philadelphia Sports Network. Good morning, Kylie. How you doing today?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
Good. I don't know how much you've caught of this. Which Philadelphia Philly would make the best WWE superstar? I say Nick Castellanos with a very close second going to Kyle Schwarber.
Marsh.
Brandon Marsh.
I'm going Marsh.
Personality for it, doesn't he? Now I'm intrigued by it. Now I'm questioning everything I've done. You didn't even hesitate on that answer.
No. I've been to one WWE event. One.
Mm-hmm.
Marsh.
Okay.
Hands down.
All right. I keep saying that there will be Philadelphia athletes at WrestleMania. There's no way they can come to Philly and not have them. It's got to be Jason
Kelce.
Can you just imagine Jason Kelce coming out the link at WrestleMania? And I don't know if you're a wrestling fan. Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out, throws him a beer. They do the beer chug thing. Can you imagine what the link would be like if Kelce and Stone Cold were chugging beers in the ring together?
Absolutely electric.
It would be amazing. It would be amazing. All right. So Phillies, another week of spring training up. And I know you're on are you down in Clearwater yet, or are you getting there tomorrow?
Not yet. I leave tomorrow morning at 3:30.
Okay. Are you staying in Clearwater, or are you staying in Clearwater Beach?
I'm staying in just south of Clearwater.
Okay. So you're going to be around the stadium the most of the time you're down there.
Yeah, I'm going to be in Dunedin, Sarasota, and Clearwater.
All right, gotcha. So you got to go to Lenny's. We got to start off there. You got to make sure before one of the games you get your Lenny's breakfast in, without a doubt. So the first thing I want to talk about today with you is get your thoughts. I don't know if you heard, but it looks like Bryce Harper was petitioning, as he always does, for more people to be signed to this team, more pitching. I don't know what his exact quote was, but basically pitching for Snell or Montgomery to be signed by the Eagles or by the Phillies. The problem is not that. It's the fact that, again, we keep talking every week about some stupid media company saying something stupid.
Of course.
WIP goes out there and starts bad-mouthing Bryce Harper for asking for, using his, swag to try to get this team better. Before you even talk about WIP bashing them, where are you on the side of, is Bryce Harper sometimes overstepping his boundaries by constantly asking for more players on this team?
Oh, absolutely not. Bryce Harper came here to win. He came here to change the culture. He literally, he literally did so much. He catapulted this organization at least a decade. So he came in, the locker room was not even close to what it is now. Harper created that from the ground up. Of course, he had Nola and Reese who were still there, but we need pitching. Harper can do whatever he wants.
There are no boundaries for it, I would think. And I think, do you want your superstar athletes to be content? You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Want them to, just sit there and be like, yeah, sure, whatever. Give me Give me 4 jobbers. I don't really care what's happening. You know what I mean? Like, don't you want him to want to take this team to the next level?
Yeah. I could go on a whole rant about this, especially with everybody, talking about the Harper extension and how bad that could be because of, him having, what was it, 7 years left, I believe? A long time left on that long contract, and he signed up for that. But it's the same thing. It's just the media is just trying to find every little thing they can to get the extra click or view.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Something I said it because obviously I don't know if it happened before you came on last week or after you came on, but the Zach Wheeler extension of 3 years. Did we talk about that last week? I
No,
forget.
it happened a couple days after.
Okay, so it happened after. Okay, so first off, before I get into it, we'll talk about the Zach Wheeler extension in a second. But something I said on social media, and it got mixed reactions.
Mhm.
After the Zach Wheeler extension happened, I kind of made out a point that it's almost imperative that the Phillies win a World Series this year or next year. And what I'm saying and why I'm saying that is not because of age or the contracts. You have to win a World Series now to justify John Middleton's stupid spending, right? He said he will spend stupid money. And I'm not saying it was stupid money to sign those guys. It was just a lot of money.
Yeah.
Isn't it now imperative that the Phillies win one now to prove John Middleton or to justify John Middleton or to give he's giving the players what they want. Now they got to give him what he wants.
Yeah, I actually agree with that, and here's why. Um, you give Harper 13 years, $330 million.
Mhm.
You give Castellanos 5 years, $100 million. You give Kyle Schwarber, what was it, 4 or 5 years, $84 million, something like that.
Something like that.
Um, you give Wheeler a historical extension. You have the face of the franchise wanting you to spend more. Yeah, the World Series appearance and then an NLCS appearance the year after is great. You got to win it all, and maybe not within the next year or two, but within the next maybe 4 or 5 years, you have to have one.
Absolutely. I was trying to find a note somewhere on here I had written down about something that Buster Olney had said about this exact same thing that inspired me, and I can't find my note now anywhere in my paper. But basically, I mean, this team is built to win,
Yep.
and John Middleton has given Dave Dombrowski, if he wants to go out and get Blake Snell, just say because that seems to be the name this week over Montgomery. That's
Yep.
linked to the Philadelphia Phillies. He's given Dave Dombrowski the right. If you want to go get him, go get him. If you want to wait till the deadline and go out and get a big ticket closer, go get him. You've got to justify that with it. If Jalen Hurts doesn't win a Super Bowl, we'll be disappointed. If Joel Embiid in the process does not win an NBA championship, we'll be disappointed. Because all those teams have made some really great moves, but have also made some really questionable moves along the way. The
Right.
Phillies have literally gone more all in than any other team. And
Yeah.
if they don't win a World Series, I'm kind of scared of how John Middleton will react 3 or 4 years from now if he's still chasing that trophy.
I was actually about to say the same thing. If he doesn't win and that money isn't, I mean, yeah, it's great. They won a pennant. They almost won another one in back-to-back years, but if they don't win at all, will John Middleton actually question spending that much money if it doesn't get the results? I don't know. John
I mean,
Middleton
this
seems like
Phillies
he's one of
organization. I
us.
mean, John Middleton hasn't been the controlling owner for a very long time, and you're a youngin, but I remember plenty of times the Phillies spent money, didn't win, and then they didn't quite take the Miami Marlins way of selling off after every championship. But there were some down years in Philadelphia where this team refused to spend money, refused to spend money,
Yeah.
and John Middleton again wasn't the main guy in control those years. But I don't want to go back to that way. I don't
No.
want to go back to even a mid-level team. I want to go back to I want as John Middleton said, and I quote, "I want my effing trophy back."
Bring
You know, I mean, like
it back.
I mean, he's giving the Phillies the tools to do the job.
Yep.
Now they need to use those tools to get the job done. And I kind of agree with, I think it was Buster Olney that said he has the Phillies beating the Yankees in the World Series as his spring training prediction because of John Milton, because of the money they spent, because there's more money to be spent if they won. Like, I don't think that's a bold take, is it?
No, not at all. If the Phillies win, it'll show that, spending the money the way that the Phillies have kind of justifies what they're doing.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't see them stopping at all.
On the Zach Wheeler contract, what are your thoughts on it? Because I got crushed because people misunderstood my take. My take was that I love the deal. I don't love 38-year-old Zach Wheeler making $40 million, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And people are like, oh, man, that was a great deal, blah, blah, what do you... I'm like, no, I like the deal. The fact that you got Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola locked up in this city for the next how many years to anchor our rotation, I'm game. I love it.
Mhm.
Where are your thoughts on it?
It's definitely a lot of money, without a doubt. But since Wheeler's been here, he's been, one, underpaid
Right.
for his production, and two, he's been the best pitcher since he got here. So, I know Nola has the opening day starting record kind of thing going, so I'd like to see that continue. But Wheeler has been the best pitcher since he started here, and it's kind of crazy.
I saw somebody put up a graphic. I'm not sure which site did it, comparing Zach Wheeler's first few years with Roy Halladay's first few years. And honestly, Zach Wheeler, he doesn't get considered in that Roy Halladay level, but yet
No,
he's kind of actually been better at the start of his career here than
yeah,
Roy Halladay had. And that's saying something because Roy Halladay threw a perfect game, a no hitter, and whatnot.
yeah. It's not something that I had even realized because Halladay is my favorite pitcher of all time.
I
I
mean, his jersey's
Yeah,
hanging up right there. It's
exactly.
the only Phillies jersey hanging here. You know what I mean? So I got that, and I got my Jim Thome fathead, and that's about it back there. So
Jim Thome, my first ever
great.
jersey.
Yeah, the Jim
Um,
Thome signing turned the city around for sure.
oh, yeah.
So what else is going on in spring training right now with this Phillies pitching? Is that I keep hearing about Taijuan Walker's name constantly comes up in conversations. Obviously, he hasn't pitched at all yet. I don't think.
Nope, he's
Um,
hurt.
he's hurt. But also he's coming off a disappointing end to his season. Is he really hurt? Or is there some, I don't know. I kind of feel like that he doesn't want to be here. Is the vibe I'm getting. That there was definitely some social media comments by him after the season about not playing in the playoffs and whatnot. Like, is he becoming a distraction? And is that a problem?
I don't think he's becoming a distraction. I think, he really is hurt. He did something. I forget what I saw, but he recently did something. So he's working on getting back. I'm not worried about that yet.
Nobody's as hurt as Ben Simmons. Another
Nobody.
season gone. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
The
God.
comments are so distracting sometimes.
No, that's funny. God,
It's accurate. What
it's
can you
accurate.
trust though, Taijuan Walker? Like, so here's the thing I'm thinking. Everybody keeps talking about Snell or Montgomery being brought in here, and it's great. And everyone just assumes that Chris Sanchez is the guy that gets the bump from the rotation. And I know dollars and cents wise, he's the guy that gets the bump from the rotation. But in my mind, at this point, based off of what knowledge I have on paper in front of me, am I insane to think I'd rather have Chris Sanchez in my rotation than Taijuan Walker?
I'm never opposed to doing crazy things to shake things up and see what works.
Yeah.
Um, that's definitely interesting. I mean, it would kind of because I think Taiwan Walker he slows down the second half of the season.
Yep.
So in that sense, I mean, maybe he pitches too many innings and he can go into the long relief kind of situation, but with that kind of money, I don't see that happening.
I agree. I just, we're trying to win a World Series. We just talked about Bryce Harper and John Middleton and paying it off. Is Taijuan Walker, like I got crushed last year when Taijuan Walker got signed. And I said it was a terrible deal. And everyone told me Taijuan Walker was a great pitcher. And it was a smart move. And all. I'm like, no, it's a bad move. And I said it from the get-go. And I love, because I'm wrong all the time. I love to put a little pat on my back occasionally. Do you think the Phillies have regretted that decision now at this point? Now knowing that they got Nola to stay, now knowing they got Wheeler locked up long term, do you think they regret that?
I think that's entirely possible, knowing that they could have one of or both, actually, Snell and Montgomery. So I
Is there a
think
scenario where that actually happens?
it's John Middleton. If he's locking Wheeler and Nola up like this and they're still talking about Montgomery or Snell potentially coming to Philadelphia, only if the dollar amount goes down.
So here's the question: why haven't Snell and Montgomery signed? I know they're holding out for these big monster deals. So the question isn't why hasn't they signed anywhere? Why aren't teams giving them the money they think that they deserve?
I have no idea.
Are they worth? I mean, I don't remember the exact numbers. Are they really worth the money they want, or are they? Or is there some? There's got to be some kind of common middle ground somewhere. Like any team, you would think that there's got to be a half a dozen teams that would want these guys on their rosters right now. The longer it goes, the more likely they're not ready for opening day.
I know. The question mark with Snell is he had a lot of walks.
Mm-hmm.
He had the most walks and the lowest ERA of any pitcher this past season. That's why he won the Cy Young. But San Diego's defense is top tier. They have Machado, they have Ha-Seong Kim, they have that infield is you're rarely going to get anything really. So I think that's kind of what these teams have looked at. The fact that, I mean, the Phillies don't have terrible defense. Certainly not the worst.
No, not at
But
all.
certainly not what San Diego has.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe with Bryce at first, now that'll be a little different. But, Trey and Bohm have both had issues, and that's a whole left side of the infield. So, I think they take that into consideration, and everybody is clear cut. Everybody I've talked to wants Montgomery over Snell.
Okay, and
I
why
have
is that?
no idea because he's just a better pitcher. He fits more with the less walks. The concerns with Snell are his innings as well. So Montgomery goes longer innings. I think Montgomery really wants Boston
Mm-hmm.
because his wife is doing a residency there, but
Okay.
Boston doesn't throw out money like they used to.
No. Sorry, TJ. Thank you for seeing my tweet. Yeah, you know what? We're moving on from that tweet. I broke the internet yesterday with that one. I don't know if you saw that tweet.
Oh, I saw.
I still haven't stopped getting notifications on that. We're up to somewhere in the neighborhood of like 7,000 notifications on my phone right now from that tweet. And I'm not being sarcastic at all. I'm literally drowning in notifications on that.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, it's not. So you're an Eagles fan now too. Swift or Barkley? Why am I nuts for saying I'd rather Swift over Saquon Barkley?
I think it depends on cost.
Everybody just looks at the name value.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley's famous. DeAndre Swift isn't. It's cost, it's age, it's injury history, it's familiarity with the team. It's so much, and people are like, no, one's better than the other. That's all that matters. And we people don't understand in baseball. No cap. John Middleton can spend if he wants to go out and give $300 million to Snell and Montgomery each right now. He could. He's allowed to. You can't do that in football.
No, you can't. And the Eagles definitely have more dire positions in need. I mean, Steph's my doctor or is a doctor. Talk about. Yeah, I think she is a doctor. I think she's doing her residency, so she's like past the intern sort of stage. I don't even know what it's called. But that's one step. I forget how Grey's Anatomy did it, but it's But
all my doctor's knowledge is based off of Grey's Anatomy.
I mean, and
I mean,
Scrubs.
I'm old. Mine was based off of ER, which was a much better doctor
Fair
show
point.
than Grey's Anatomy. Just so you know. There's a tweet right there. That's going to break the internet next. ER is greater than Grey's Anatomy.
Right.
I'm writing it down so I don't forget. Okay.
Oh my god! Next time we're gonna get 10,000 quote tweets on that one.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But
Swift is just very overrated. Wow. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'm going to disagree there on that one.
I've loved Swift his season here in Philly, and I think McSteamy. But I think Saquon's a very dynamic and powerful running back, and I think his injury history is just the Giants. I mean, I don't.
Somehow we got roped into making Phillies Fridays with Kylie about the Eagles here, but I'm not sure how it happened.
There's nothing. The Eagles are always going to be talked about. There's always something going on with them. They literally cannot stay out of the light, no matter how hard they've tried.
They try.
But
They do. They do. All right, one final Phillies question for you, and I'm going to want next week. You'll still be in Clearwater, so you won't be on next week.
right.
So I'm going to try to get Regina on because I know Regina's been pining to come on. I'm going to try to get Regina Ham on next week.
Do it. She's
But
awesome.
I want then. So 2 weeks from now, when you're back on, I'm going to want a firsthand account of an update. So at this point, we talked about it last week. We're going to talk about it every week, basically, till camp's over, till the season starts. Rojas, Pache, and the last spot on the roster. To me, Mr. Christian has taken over the starting center field job with how he's performed in spring so far. Am I crazy?
No, I actually agree.
And if that happened, if Pachi, I don't know I always say Pachi, whether it's right or wrong. That's just how I'm going to always say his name. I saw a little, I saw the look in your eye when I said Pachi. Does Rojas go to AAA if Pachi wins the starting job?
Yeah, for sure. And
He's got to get every day at bats, right?
Yeah, he's got to get every day at bats, and the lefty-righty matchups, Cave would stay.
Yeah. No, well, and we don't want Jay Cave on this team, so Rojas better get his shit together then, right?
Yep.
Do you think he can hold on to it, Pache? Do you think he can maintain because last year before he got hurt, he was playing sporadically, but he was actually turning some heads and ascending. He was a really solid player and growing, and he is really young too. We put all our eggs in the Rojas basket, thinking he was the next guy, but it might be Pachi in the end of it, right?
It very well could be Pache. The defense isn't a huge drop off. I think it's a little bigger than people are saying. But I mean, Rojas's bat just isn't there right now.
Yeah.
He's batting. I know it's just spring training, and there's maybe call him up, have him start opening day, and maybe a month down the road, if he's still not doing it, get Pache up, move Rojas down, and if Cave is still on the roster, because I want them to keep both Rojas and Pache.
Okay.
And Thompson, being a better baseball knower than me, likes the righty-lefty matchup. So I don't see them keeping Rojas and Pache unless something crazy happens.
All right. One final question for you. Pronounce this name for me.
No.
Do it. I'm telling you. Yeah. I'm not letting the show end until you pronounce the name.
Christian Buzenhout. I don't know.
It's a golfer. Christian Buzenhout. I don't even know if I say it right, but K1 loves how I pronounce Buzenhout. So, that's what we call it on this show. All right. So, Kylie, what is on your must-do list while you're in Clearwater this week? A couple people have asked in the comments. I haven't put them all up.
I'm definitely going to Lenny's. I am going to see what's up with Dunedin. I hear there's a lot of stuff to do, so I'm going to kind of explore up there. I am going down over to Sarasota, so I'm going to explore over there a little bit, explore Clearwater a little better than I did last year. Of course, I got to get a beer bat.
Of course, you got to get a beer bat.
Clearwater.
Make sure you save room in your suitcase because you got to bring that home.
Oh,
I need
yeah,
you
of
drinking
course.
2 weeks from now. I need you drinking out of the beer bat on this show.
You got it. I can do that.
I like it. So you've been down there before. It's such a beautiful place. I'm so jealous whenever I see anybody I know that's going down there and I am not going. I just get so jealous. If you
It's
go to Clearwater Beach, I will give you one. I'm going to give a free bit of publicity to a restaurant. The Salted Crab North Beach in Clearwater Beach is the absolute best nighttime spot for live music and food. It's my favorite.
ooh,
Right on the main strip. It's on the far north end of it. The Salted Crab, North Beach, live outdoor music every single night. It's my favorite place. I literally will go to Clearwater Beach just to go there if there's no spring training games going on.
interesting.
So, the Salted Crab, they have like 5 locations throughout Clearwater area, but the North Beach one, tops in my book, just so you know.
Good to
They make
know.
some great drinks. No, they make some really good drinks. Supposedly, I embarrassed myself there and got really slapped one night.
Oh,
But we'll
by
leave
the
that for
way,
another day.
before I forget, I went to this restaurant last year that I don't know how many people know about. It's a breakfast place. It's called Spegtacular. Spegg Tacular. Tacular. And incredible breakfast. Not I like Lenny's more. You get a lot with Lenny's,
Yeah, you get
but
a lot of food. I didn't want to go to the baseball game after going to Lenny's for breakfast.
I
Like, I'm
actually
literally like, I need a wheelchair to get me out of here.
I land at 8:30 tomorrow morning, so I think I'm gonna go there right from the airport.
Are you, how many games are you seeing while you're down there?
At least 3 or 4.
Nice, nice. Hopefully you've got some firsthand accounts for us when you come back in 2
Of
weeks.
course.
All right. So we got Fridays, Phillies Fridays with Kylie here. Have a great time. Be safe. Have
Thank
fun
you.
in Clearwater. We will see you in 2 weeks, and we'll see if I can get Regina to fill in for you. I know it won't be the same having Regina on, but maybe she could
Nah,
do about
Regina's awesome.
80% of the quality content that you bring us every Friday on the show.
Appreciate that.
All right. Have a great weekend and enjoy your trip, Kylie.
Thank you.
Thanks. That was Kylie on the I Have No Sponsor hotline. Phillies Fridays with Kylie. I get so jealous when people go to Clearwater. I do. It's such a great. It's even if you're not going for Phillies games, it's just such a blast to go down there. So much fun. Beautiful. The people are nice. It's clean. The beaches are great. The food's fantastic. The grouper is flowing everywhere. Cooters went out of business, which is kind of disappointing. So all you can eat crab night is not there anymore. But that's another subject. If you've never been to Cooters, you don't know what you're talking about. AKA No Flyer Friday. We brought flyers into the conversation. All you chose to do, K1, was bitch about not enough talk on the flyers. Instead of bringing flyers points to the conversation, you chose to complain. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah. I wish. The new stadium coming. What new stadium? Gator Bites? Eh. I prefer the grouper bites, especially when you're in Clearwater. There's grouper everywhere. Grouper sandwiches, grouper bites, grouper nuggets, grouper chowder, grouper burger, grouper tacos, grouper steak, grouper everything. I don't care about Tampa Bay, the Devil Rays, and their new stadium. I actually love their quirky stadium. I'm just going to say it. I don't care about St. Pete. Why do I care about Tampa having a new stadium? That is not a trending in the AM topic. Killing the vibe. All right, you got 5 minutes left in the show, guys. Final comments, whatever you want to get in. I stand by it. Nobody convinced me I was wrong. DeAndre Swift is greater than Saquon Barkley. Tiki Barber. I love this comment. WrestleMania athletes from Philadelphia. Who you want to see at WrestleMania? I want to see Mike Tyson knock out Jake Paul, but I'm not going to bet it. The Flyers, the Sixers. You got 5 minutes to get the rest of your comments in on this show. Whatever you want to talk about. Now's the time. How can I break the internet today? ER is greater than Grey's Anatomy. Maybe that's how I break the internet today. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I double down regularly. I'm going to do another one. DeAndre Swift is greater than Derrick Henry. Then I'm going to do another one. DeAndre Swift is greater than Austin Eckler. Then I'm going to do another one. Is DeAndre Swift is greater than Tony Pollard? I want DeAndre Swift in this Eagles offense next to Jalen Hurts with a new offense coordinator so bad. I really do. And I'm doubling down, tripling down, and whatnot. Phil, what do you think about the Rock Instagram promo? Was that the one from last week, or did he do another one this week that I haven't seen? I'm actually quite out on the whole Rock thing. It's just, it was fun for 1 minute or 2 minutes, but I'm over the Rock. I'm over Dwayne. And you can quote me on that. Tell him I don't care. I would rather The Rock not be involved with WrestleMania. I would. I don't think it's necessary. You could have a perfectly good story between Roman and Cody with other avenues without bringing The Rock into it. But Rock has mainstream appeal, and that's what they're doing. The Rock ER did give the world a young George Clooney. That is for sure. For sure. And when he was on that show, it was that and NYPD Blue back in the day. Primetime TV at its finest. Taylor Swift WrestleMania sighting? Yeah. Is that right? The Rock taking credit why wrestling is over to mainstream folks is nasty work. I don't know. Yeah. Forget about it. ER gave us Denzel too, right? I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, no. He was Denzel was Saint Elsewhere. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was not that. Yeah. I knew he was on the show, but I was pretty sure. I never watched Saint Elsewhere. What day is WrestleMania? It's a Saturday and Sunday, April 5th and 6th, 6th and 7th, something like that. It was General Hospital. I don't know anything about General Hospital. Jason Kelce, WrestleMania over-under. Smash the over on that. Jason Kelce will be there night one. Just book it now. If Jason Kelce does not come out at WrestleMania, then they're doing something wrong there. Howie Mandel or Howie Manziel? Are we talking Johnny Manziel or Howie Mandel? Like, who are we talking about it? I'm not sure there. I like heel rock. Heel rock is better than face rock, sure. But it's already run its course with me. Straight up. What Kelce finisher? Jason Kelce would be like the Sandman, come out shotgun and beers and a kendo stick, smashing it over your head. That's all he would do. It would all be reputation and no actual substance. Mandel, yeah. Howie Manziel or Johnny Mandel? The Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth on night one is the challenge laid out by The Rock. He called himself the owner. Yeah. I like how he is playing into it, that he is on the board now, TKO or whatever it's called. When he had hair. He had hair. Deal or no deal. And you got to pause. Deal or no deal. And before you answer, we'll be back from this commercial break with your answer. If Stone Cold comes out and challenges Kelce to a beer smashing drink thing, it's got to happen. It's got to happen. Kelce's finisher would be clothesline from hell, but it would be called the brotherly shove. Yeah, I like it. No, his finishing move would be the brotherly shove. You just stand in front of somebody and shove them, and they could call it the brotherly shove. Or you can stand behind them and push them in the butt and call it the tush push and knock them over. That kind of sounds weird. Sorry. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap this up. Trading the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. I am Phil Stiefel. We'll be back Monday. Who knows? Monday afternoon. Start of free agency. Legal tampering period. It is going to be a whirlwind next week of rumors, of signings, of missed opportunities. It's going to be crazy next week, guys. Always is. And shout out to my man, Adam. Muchas gracias for the super chat tip. Always appreciate it. Much appreciate it. The tush push, man. That could be a great finishing move, man. Oh, man. That's more for the attitude era, not the, PG era. Just saying. But anyway, yeah. Guys, everybody have a great weekend. Be well. We will talk to you all on Monday, 8 a.m. as always. And as always, guys, Go Birds.